boys and girls. Episode 2 of the LOLLUJO Cup sees the group stages be decided. We had some very interesting starts to the tournament yesterday and some of our favourites potentially already close to getting knocked out, but we will find out who is in the semi-finals and ultimately get one step closer to finding out who is the best team I've managed in FM22. Hello folks and welcome to episode 2 of the FM22 LOLLUJO Cup. I'm Kev, and would you look at what's gone on so far? We've got Dortmund absolutely dominating things, as are Norwich, and poor old Tor really struggling to figure out where their next goal is coming from. Believe it or not, those of you watching On League to Legend this year, Sergio Delgado is quite good. We're going to be playing match day 2 and match day 3 today. So that's going to see Dortmund versus Keverton, Leamington versus the Streamer Showdown winning team, Paris Saint-Germain versus Norwich, which is going to be a big match. They were very good teams in match day 1, and then Tor against Real Madrid, who were both really poor on match day 1. And then the final round of matches in the second half of the episode, we've got Dortmund versus Leamington, another big clash of the Titans, Keverton versus the Streamer Showdown team, Real Madrid versus Norwich, and Tor versus Paris Saint-Germain. So we'll get into that excitement in a moment, but before we do, quick reminder that if you haven't yet pre-ordered your copy of FM23, you can do that using the link at the top of the description below. It saves you some money. It's cheaper than it is on Steam, only £32.05 using the link, and it also supports the channel as well. So it's win-win. You save a little bit of money, I make a little bit of money, and we all get to be playing the FM23 beta nice and soon as that drops, because you get the beta included on that as well. The link's at the top of the description below. Thank you to everyone who's used it so far, and anyone who hasn't, go do it now. You've got plenty of time. You can do it now, and it'll all be ready to go and waiting for the beta before we kick off in the first match. So match number 1 of match day 2, it is Dortmund versus Keverton, and they both have very familiar looks around them. If you want to see the teams, you can pause and look at the teams, but you know these teams by now. We're not going to dwell on them too much. Let's get straight into these matches. Assistant managers, do your team talks, and hopefully, unlike with all the first round matches, yeah, we've got everything set up correctly on there. So Dortmund versus Keverton. They are first and second in the group as things stand. But Keverton, only with the draw in the first match, will be looking, if they've got any chance of getting through to that semi-final, they'll be looking for a victory here. Although that's easier said than done, against a Dortmund team that is already looking very good, although that one has been decided. I don't really know why Gustavo felt the need to get his head on that one. Schultz to Drury. It is all Dortmund as we hit the end of this first half, but Everton defending resolutely are managing to hold on at the moment. Boning has got him behind again here. Gustavo was momentarily unmarked in the middle and gives his marker the slip again. And this time, Luis Gustavo gets it into the back of the net. It's not been disallowed. It is 1-0 to Dortmund, and it has absolutely been coming. And as you would expect, really, Dortmund on paper, arguably the best team in the entire tournament. They were one of the pre-tournament favourites with the in-game odds. But this Dortmund team is just so strong. But this is where Everton are at their best, and it's Anel. It was always going to be him. We've seen that goal 50 times if we've seen it once over the course of the network game. The in-swinging corner from Mr. Everton, Anel at the near post. He got into double figures in our title-winning season, doing that over and over and over again, and it's always going to be a threat. He's a huge man who's very good in the air, and it's 1-1. Well, that puts the cat amongst the pigeon, boys and girls. But it is Dortmund on the attack again. Tipple playing it forward to Boning. Dean, oh my word. Michael Boning doesn't even give Luca Dean a chance. Drury to Tipple. Still could go either way this game. Only one goal in it. Schultz has got Locatelli on a huge overlap. Decides to give it to Gustavo instead. Ballo, whose performance deserves a goal, plays it across to Boning, and it's his second of the game. Third of the tournament so far, apparently. It's Dortmund 3, Keverton 1, and I am starting to think if there's anyone who can stand up to this Dortmund team, because 2 games in, they have just looked absolutely sensational. It's just pass, 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 pass. The Olays are going. They're sounding around the ground, and Rendell Correa can only bring Ballo down, and Ballo has had a fantastic game. It's going to be Boning who's going to pick up the hat-trick, presumably, as the guy who is on 2 goals as the penalty is awarded. In fact, it's Schultz taking it, which is a little bit of an unusual one. Colin Schultz grabbing himself a goal. Young Schultz scored for Norwich on match day 1, and now old Schultz has a goal. A Leamington win against the Streamer Showdown team, I think, eliminates Everton. This is where Kev Math starts to come into play. A consolation goal for Gravenberch, but that's all it's going to be, does end Dortmund 4, Keverton 2. I think that is Dortmund qualified. So, second game from Group A is Leamington versus the Streamer Showdown winning team, which is a 4-2-3-1 versus a Diamond. The Diamond has seemed strong in this tournament so far, but I suspect this Leamington team is much stronger than the Streamer Showdown winning team. It is a very good Leamington side, who did struggle against Everton in the first match, but I think they should be able to deal with this Showdown winning team relatively comfortably. Oh, good. Everyone's playing in yellow. Or is that my colour blindness? Is that green? And now we've got to mess around with this as well. I love the colour clashes. The league table is a nightmare. That's another thing that could do with being fixed. Big Boy was there, and there's Showy Forward. And it is now 1-0 to Leamington. We were robbed by the assistant referee for the original goal that went in, which I thought was a really nice finish. But this is Big Boy showing why you want a Big Boy at the near post, and Showy Forward just there to clean up Big Boy's scraps. And it's 1-0 to Leamington. Football Manager series on the channel of the year, if it didn't get confused with Kev Maths constantly, which is definitely what's going to be happening throughout. Right. Oh, Marcus Rashford is in. Out of nowhere, Salah drifting out onto the left-hand side, floats the crossover, and Rashford, very much against the run of play so far, grabs an equaliser. If I sound subdued, it's because I'm sad. I really want Leamington to do well. We might have to do some shenanigans to eliminate them somehow. We'll come up with a plan. There's Rashford again for the Showdown team, playing it over the top to Salah, who hasn't been kept quiet. The plan was to keep Mo Salah quiet. He plays it across this time to Kai Havertz, and now Havertz grabs a goal, a veteran of many Showdown winning teams. Kai Havertz, very much one of my boys when it comes to the Streamer Showdown, and demonstrating exactly why there, because that is a very tidy finish from him, from some great work from Salah again. It shows that all the teams are vaguely equivalent quality, I guess. Showy Forward is in again here, and that's lovely work from Showy Forward, and it's a second goal of the game from Showy Forward, who doesn't, I mean, he's not allowed his nickname in versus mode, which is very sad, but he is still very much a Showy Forward. It's 2-2 now, and this is the most Leamington goal we've scored yet. Ball over the top, the striker running through, and a lovely little dink over the top of the goalkeeper from Showy Forward, who just continues. Showy Forward, though, also problematic. And now Gonzalez on the left-hand side. There's men in the middle if we can find them. Mile Saka plays it back into Gonzalez. Gonzalez has taken it too far, surely. But Raven coming in off the other wing. They knew what they were doing all along. And Raven giving it the arm punch in and having a lovely time with it. Saka from deep finds Is-It. There are players in the middle. Is-It? I don't even know what he's done there. Has that hit the crossbar? It doesn't matter because Showy Forward has a hat-trick. What a game from Showy Forward. And Leamington and Dortmund both looking very good in this group. Keverton are going to need a miracle on the last day when they face the Showdown team, I think, and Leamington face Dortmund. That'll be coming up in the second half of this episode. For now, though, straight into Group B. Two teams that played very well in the first round of matches. Norwich scored 5 goals in their game. Paris Saint-Germain just absolutely nullified Real Madrid in theirs. So bit of a clash of contrasting styles potentially. But as I built the Norwich team and Kylian Mbappe built the Paris Saint-Germain team, there's only one team I'm cheering on in this match. I am very much a Norwich boy who is inexplicably losing his voice. I don't, you can tell I've not made videos for a little while where it is difficult to say who's the better team. The PSG team obviously won the Champions League, but this Norwich team are really good. And if they'd have been playing in any other league in the world, they'd have been dominant. But Zaniolo has decided to just grab the early goal and end the conversation. Now, if Paris Saint-Germain play the way they did in the first match, and I realise I'm the manager and to an extent can control this, but I'm not fiddling in the middle of matches. But PSG grabbed their goal in the first match and then just closed off the match. I've already said in this episode that Dortmund look unbeatable. This Paris Saint-Germain team look excellent. But Sandro Tonali's not having any of it. It's 1-1. That's the first goal PSG have conceded in this tournament. They've only scored twice in 1.5 games. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's more goals in the locker of Paris Saint-Germain. Pre-season top goal scorer favourite Mbappe hasn't really done anything other than convert a penalty in the entire tournament so far. But Navarro playing it forward to Erenua. Erenua now playing it back to Bindi. Bindi tackled by Grealish, but Colin Schultz is in. Can he square it? He doesn't, but Delgado picks up this spilled interception from Donnarumma, and Norwich take the lead. I would say against the run of play and probably against the pre-season odds as well. Norwich, I mean, it's got to be said, if Norwich win the LOLLUJO Cup, that's an upset, I would think. I'd probably put Grealish in there if given the choice, but it makes no difference. Norwich picking up a huge result, and I think that's Norwich qualified for the semi-finals, because I think that's 2 wins now for Norwich, which should be enough to qualify for the semi-final. So final match of match day 2, it's Tor, who were terrible in the first round of matches against Real Madrid, who I suspect are very much looking forward to having a fun day out. This could be the end of the road for Tor. Defeat here and they are out of the tournament, which would be very sad, but an indication of just how much that team outperformed the odds and outperformed their own ability. Delgado's been very lively in this match so far. And now Mikotadze trying to get past Nguema. I say trying, he succeeds in getting past Nguema. And Carlos Vitor from range, less than 10 minutes gone once again. And Tor again find themselves behind in the game. And it's very sad. This might be the last match we ever see at this stadium. This, of course, is our Tor stadium from the Tour de France. Set piece for Tor. This is an opportunity. Del Placio Langer into Moses Capital and Kevin Simon. I don't usually allow players with 2 first names, and it's been disallowed. That's why. Never trust a man with 2 first names. Can't keep themselves on side. From the left-hand side, Simon lumps it clear, looking for Cruz. Cruz can't get there ahead of Carlos Vitor, though, who just absolutely dominates him. Now Adeyemi to Damien, and I think, boys and girls, that's probably the final nail in the Tor coffin, and it's very sad. Folks, just want to take a moment to thank today's episode sponsor, NordVPN. NordVPN is super easy to use with just 1 click, allowing you to change the virtual location of your device to one of 59 countries all over the world. What does this mean in practice? It means you can just go onto the app, click your location. Today, we're going to go to Manassas. I've never heard of Manassas, but now my computer is in Manassas. So when I now log in to my favourite football club's online service, it thinks I'm an international viewer, which means I can watch the 3 p.m. fixtures without any of the issues that we would normally have in the UK. And it's not just for watching football, it also allows you to watch Netflix from different countries, Amazon Prime from different countries, Disney Plus from different countries, and it's not just for watching stuff. Maybe you're in one of those countries where you can't buy Football Manager. Easy peasy, switch yourself to a country where you can buy it, download it, everybody's happy. And it also encrypts and protects all of your data while you're using the internet and that kind of important grown-up stuff too, as well as being the fastest VPN on the market and allowing you to use it on up to 6 different devices, including your Android TV. So what are you waiting for then, folks? Head down to the link at the top of the description below to sign up for NordVPN via my link with a massive discount, plus 4 months for free and a 30-day money-back guarantee. I mean, you're basically in a no-lose situation here, folks. You get to watch the football on a Saturday afternoon or continue your favourite series after it moves off of UK Netflix, and you get to save some money doing it, all whilst supporting the channel. So once again, that link is at the top of the description below. Go click it now. So here we go then, boys and girls. Going into match day 3, the final round of games. We have had the off-camera boffins running the numbers, and there is still a route through for Tor. So actually the only team officially eliminated at this point is LOLLUJO, who face Keverton here. The Streamer Showdown winning team are officially mathematically eliminated. Everyone else is still got it all to play for. Dortmund are the only team that are qualified. The scenario for Tor is a 4-0 win for Tor over Paris Saint-Germain, whilst Norwich beat Real Madrid, and Tor will qualify from Group B in 2nd place. So I love the fact it's come down to Tor having to beat Paris Saint-Germain and having to beat them good, because that's basically what that entire series was all about as well. It would be very romantic But first up, it is Keverton off of the network game versus my Streamer Showdown winning team that is already eliminated, that was drafted by Jack. I want it to be easy. Just have Leamington already go through. Right, Gravenberch with the corner. Sir Ben Godfrey is there. And then Victor Osimhen grabs the goal for Keverton. I still really like this Everton. I can't cheer against this Everton team. As Leamington, of course, split off from the non-League to Legend universe. And wow, there's a second goal for Keverton through Richarlison. And it's looking like there is going to be that pressure applied to Leamington. LOLLUJO have just whimpered out of this tournament. And Keverton have laid down the marker for Leamington. Leamington must draw if they're going to make it through to the next round against this Dortmund team that is the first to qualify and definitely looks like the best team in the tournament that we've seen so far. Here we go then, and this is your confirmation that Leamington, I think, in fact, Leamington might be all right. And oh no, if they lose, they drop down to 4 points, but they'd still be ahead on goal difference. So actually, a 1-0 defeat should still be enough for Leamington. But ideally, Leamington just go and win the football match. That's probably the easiest way to go about things. I think if Dortmund win comfortably again here, we may as well just hand them the trophy now. Yeah, Keverton have 4 points. Before the match, Leamington already have 4 points. And Colin Schultz is trying to ruin everybody's day. And it shows just how good Etienne Tipple is. He manages to play in this team that is so dominant when he was just a fringe player at Spurs who ended up at Norwich and then became a key player in his 30s of this all-conquering Dortmund team that might be about to ruin Leamington's LOLLUJO Cup. And that will be the biggest shock of the entire tournament so far if Leamington don't even make it through to the semi-finals with the cross. Remy heads clear and poor old Leamington are being absolutely ruined. And Big Boy's been sent off. That, I think, is the end for Leamington. I don't think they stand much chance with only 10. And there is Luis Gustavo just hammering the final nail into the Leamington coffin. And I'm distraught. I'm genuinely distraught.
I'm not sure I understand.
No, I don't understand either, Siri. It's all gone wrong. But Dortmund seem to be benefiting from a home advantage. That's cancelled out in the knockout rounds. And I don't think anyone stops them. Oh, dear. 4-0 now. Leamington knocked out before Tor officially. Leamington are the second team to be knocked out with the Streamer Showdown team. Best defence we've ever put together. Looked so ordinary against this Dortmund attack. Plamen. Final goal. Thank you, Plamen. Could we still be alive? Thank you, Leamington. We had a wonderful year with you. But you are done. Leamington are out of here. And straight from one heartbreak into another one, because it's now Tor against Paris Saint-Germain. That's a sentence I've said a gazillion times before. But this is a Tor that are without the suspended Cyril Fowler, who's picked up 2 yellow cards. And they must beat this Paris Saint-Germain team by a big pile of goals and hope that a result still goes their way in the other match. It seems so unlikely. This Paris Saint-Germain team have looked so strong so far in the tournament. I don't think Tor have got enough to beat Paris Saint-Germain again. Surely. Maybe. Sure. I'd love it. Love it. Right, Benavides. For Simon. Del Palacio Langer, he needs to turn up today. If there's one thing Del Palacio knows how to do, it's put on a show against Paris Saint-Germain. Nguema from range. Ulrich Nguema, captain of Tor, less than a minute gone, has just scored an absolute screamer. The dream is alive for Tor in the LOLLUJO Cup. What a goal from Nguema. Well, I never. Look at that for a goal. Donnarumma absolutely ruined by Ulrich Nguema. Obviously, each goal we score counts double as part of that, because for every goal we score, they're also conceding a goal. And Andre Cruz, with 20 minutes gone, has made it 2-0. Come on, Tor. The dream might actually be alive, everybody. Tor are doing something sensational. The versus mode on Football Manager must know this is what we all want. Come on, no, not a penalty, not a penalty. Right, we need Magothu heroics. All Mbappe has done in this tournament is score penalties. We need Magothu to have a moment, or this might be the end. That does leave us with a lot to do now. Honorama, what's he doing out there? Goodness me. Capital nods it down to Nguema, our captain, who started the goal scoring today with a fantastic effort. Christopher Robin. Antoine is all alone on the overlap. I mean, he's got no one supporting him. Afkir Omar has now caught up. There is Omar. Oh, my word. Afkir Omar makes it 3-1. We just need one more goal with less than 5 minutes remaining to keep the dream alive. Oh, my word. Come on now. You can't let us get this close and then take it away from us. It's Tour 3, Paris Saint-Germain 1. We need one more goal to just keep it interesting going into the final match of the episode. Christopher Robin to Milinkovic. Now would be the time for the Christopher Robin moment. Please and thank you. Oh, my word. What are they doing? Stop faffing around with the ball. And oh, Mbappe's a scumbag. I hate him. I hate him. Oh, 6 seasons I had to work with him as my director of football. I hate him. Tour are eliminated. PSG could still make it through with a big Norwich win here over Real Madrid. I mean, if Norwich finish top of this group, that really does make me question so many things about non-league to legend this year. Were Norwich really better than Real Madrid? I can't believe that was the case. At least they've taken Paris Saint-Germain down with them, which does make me feel a little bit better. Just for old time's sake, one more ruining Paris Saint-Germain's day. Colin Schultz, what a goal from that man. It's going to be the 2 Schultz teams that make it through to the final. Is separating the 2 sides, but they do seem quite evenly matched. Does make me think we were on the cusp of finishing the series with Norwich way back when. Damien has got other things in mind. 1-1. It doesn't mean a lot. Because Real Madrid were already going to be through, and now they're just making it even more likely that they're going to make it through. I don't think there's a way for Real Madrid to top the group. So if we just do the confirmation of the group stages first. So Dortmund finishing top of the group, Keverton in second place, level on points with Leamington. It was a 1 goal difference in goal difference that led to Keverton qualifying ahead of Leamington. So Leamington and the Streamer Showdown winning team defeated, and I mean, worst team in the tournament, not Tour. And then Norwich winning Group B with Real Madrid in second place, 1 point ahead of Paris Saint-Germain, who were beautifully knocked out by Tour. I'm taking it. Tour were whipping boys until that final day. And at the moment, Luis Gustavo of Dortmund and Sergio Delgado of Norwich, joint top scorers in the tournament. And these are your matches for the semi-final, which will be tomorrow's video. It is Dortmund versus Real Madrid, Norwich versus Keverton. It is all setting up for that Norwich versus Dortmund final, which seems like the most likely outcome at the moment. Let me know down in the comments section who you think is going to win. It's 2 legs in both the semi-final and the final, so home advantage is eliminated, and we'll have the semi-finals in the next episode, the final in the episode after that, and then we will finally know who the best team I managed in FM22 were. If you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, especially with FM23 on the way. You want to be subscribed with your notifications on, so as soon as we get some juicy FM23 content for you, you will know about it immediately. And if you haven't pre-ordered yet, you know where the link is, top of the description below. Save yourself some money on the game as well. And thank you very much for watching.